minus 60 seconds and counting.
Who is your best friend? Who can you come home to and know everything's going to be alright? Who is the one that will always follow you, no matter where you might end up? That's right. It's your animal. It's your best friend, your closest companion, your partner till the end. But have you ever wanted to know more? What do they do when you're gone? Why do they do what they do? Or even think about other animals around the world. What do they do? How do they act? Why can't I have one of those? Well, sit back, hold tight, because here we go. Welcome to AnimalZ, Read All About It. It's a show open from anything from A to Z. It's all about the animals. So, what do you want to know? Where shall we go? Follow us as we dive deep into the animal kingdom. Hello, and welcome to AnimalZ, Read All About It. It's a show about anything and everything from A to Z about animals, whether it's the small critters in your backyard or the large and in-charge animals living around the world. On today's episode, find your new best friend at Almost Home Animal Shelter, learn how to make sure your pet is properly licensed, learn some at-home tips on how to maintain your pet's health, see what you can do when your dog needs a babysitter, and take a visit to the Detroit Zoo to discover a species that survived the Ice Age and is still going strong. And since we're all itching to get out, let's not waste any time. Here we go. Are you guys looking for a pet? Well, don't forget about Almost Home.
Almost Home is a nonprofit organization dedicated to finding loving, forever homes for homeless animals. But they cannot do it without your help. Foster an animal. Donate supplies or funds. Volunteer. Or come take us home. To learn the millions of ways to donate, please visit www.almosthomeanimals.org or go to our Amazon wish list. Almost Home. Help us today to save a life tomorrow.
Almost Home has tons of buddies waiting for their forever homes. Let's check out this week's Almost Home Adoptable Pets of the Week.
This here is Everly. She's currently one of our dogs here at Almost Home. She's a year-old black lab. She's very friendly. She's good with humans. However, she needs to be an only dog home. This here is Cheyenne. She's a 14-week-old brindle pit bull mix. She's very energetic, very playful. She's up to date on all of her shots, and she would do best with dogs her own size. She's also good with children. This here is Angelina. She's a year-old pitty mix. She's a big sweetheart. She's very lovable and she's very energetic. She loves to play in the yard. She's also up to date on all of her shots. This here is Russell. He's a 6-month-old pitty mix. He is currently up to date and he is also fixed. Russell is very playful and very energetic. He would do best in an older children's home. For more information on Russell or any other animal at our shelter, please visit our website at Almost Home or give us a call.
Do you have a dog? What were to happen if he got out? Would someone be able to have all the necessary information to get that beloved one back to you? Did you know the state of Michigan requires all dogs over 4 months to be current with rabies vaccine and to have a Michigan dog license? And if you don't, that could result in a misdemeanor ticket. So, is your dog licensed? No? Well, let's change that. First, you'll need a copy of their current rabies vaccination certificate. Then, fill out a pet license application form found on the City of Southfield website under Police Department/Record Bureau. And have proof of neutered or spayed. Also, if you are wishing to receive the senior discount, please have a copy of your driver's license. Then you can purchase your license in one of two ways. Mail in the copy of the rabies vaccine license and application to Southfield Police Records Bureau, 26000 Evergreen Road, Southfield, Michigan, 48037, or in person at the City of Southfield building located at 26,000 Evergreen Road. These are as followed for 1-year licenses. Male or female, $20. Senior owner, male or female, $18. Neutered or spayed, $10. Senior owner, neutered or spayed, $9. 3-year licenses are also available. For a 1-year tag purchase, the rabies vaccine must be valid through March 1st of the current year. For a 3-year tag purchase, the rabies vaccination must be valid through January 31st of the year the license will expire. Special note, all dogs must be licensed by December 31st. On January 1st, an additional delinquent charge of $25 will be added on to the animal license fee. For questions or additional information, please call 248-796-550. Don't waste any time. Get your buddy license today. Ever wonder what you can do to keep up your pet's health at home? Well, here are a couple of tips from Greenfield Animal Hospital's Dr. Hood to help you out.
Okay, we a lot of times have the easy job. We'll send people home with medication to give their cat and just tell them to, hey, give your cat this medication, and we enjoy the rest of our day. But people at home might have some struggles in trying to get their cats to take their medication, so we're going to go over how to pill a kitty cat today. And I think there's some tips here that will really make things a lot easier for you at home. So the first thing is to make sure you have them on a surface that's easy for you to work at. And a lot of times if you either have someone holding so they can't back up or have them against the wall so that they don't go backwards on you, can be very helpful. You want to hold whatever pill you're giving. I'm going to hold this in my right hand because I'm right-handed. And with your other hand, you want to hold onto their head so you have really good control of it. And the key thing here is having their nose pointed straight up at the ceiling. If you start like this and try and open their mouth and stick that pill back in there, you're not going to have very good success, okay? So the first key thing is, as you can see, I have her head all the way back. I have her nose pointed straight up at the ceiling, so when I open her mouth, I'll be able to drop her pill and her medication on the back of her mouth and she'll just swallow it down. After we give this, we're going to close her mouth and hold onto her chin a little bit, and what we're looking for is her tongue coming out and licking her nose. When her tongue comes out and licks her nose, we know that we've got her to swallow that pill. So here we go. We got Holly. We got her nose straight up at the ceiling here. We have her medication. We're going to open her mouth. We're going to drop this on the back of her tongue here. And then the key thing is we want to see her lick her nose. There you go. So there, she swallowed her pill. She was a good little kitty cat. And those are really the keys to success to pilling your kitty cat at home. We're going to talk about brushing dogs' teeth today, and we have Nan here to help us out and show us how we do this. I think the key things are ahead of time is just making sure you get a appropriate toothbrush and appropriate toothpaste to use for a dog. I definitely like to use soft, bristled brushes. I think if we use the hard ones, it tends to scrape on their gums. They might bleed a little bit, so I like to use something that's soft. And we definitely want to make sure we use toothpaste that is appropriate for use in a pet, not a human toothpaste. We don't have fluoride in the toothpaste that we use for dogs and cats because they tend to, as you'll see in a minute, lick a lot of that, swallow it down, so we don't want them ingesting all that. So make sure you have a appropriate toothpaste for a pet so that they don't ingest too much fluoride. And really it's going to be a pretty simple process, similar to you or I brushing our teeth. We're going to get a little toothpaste on here, and we're going to scrub away on Nan's teeth and get them all cleaned up today. So we'll start by getting a little toothpaste on here. And then we'll start working on Nan's teeth, and we'll start in the back and kind of work our way forward here. So we kind of pull these lips back. It helps to definitely have a person helping you so you can see what you're doing. And we'll get on these back teeth, and we'll just start scrubbing away at them. Start in the back, kind of work your way forward, and really get these teeth scrubbed up really good. The other more difficult thing is sometimes getting the inside part of these, because they don't necessarily want to hold their mouth open, but if you can get there and get on the inside of those teeth, then you can get those as well. But you should just do as much as they'll tolerate for you, and if you can do this a few times a week, you can really keep their teeth in a lot better shape and limit the amount of times we have to do some anesthesia with them to clean their teeth professionally. So anything you can do at home is going to be great to keep their breath good and keep their mouth nice and healthy.
Thanks, Dr. Hood. We look forward to more tips and tricks from you in the future. You do everything with your pet. Eat, sleep, but what do you do when you need to go away? Or when they need a break from you? How about doggy daycare and boarding?
Full-service doggy daycare is your dog comes and plays for a whole day or a half day. They get exercise, they play in the pools, they play in equipment, and they play with their friends.
Some of the things that people should look for if they're bringing their animals to daycare, number one, they should know the owners. Stacy and I are here every single day.
I would say the bare minimum that you should be looking for is how clean the place is when you walk in the door. If you walk in the door and the smell hits you in the face, you shouldn't go there. If you are talking to someone and they don't require a stool sample, don't go there. Same thing with Bordetella or the flu vaccine. It's important. No one wants to over-vaccinate their pets, but you want to make sure your dog is safe. So if he's playing with 100 other dogs, and those dogs come from Oakland County and Commerce in Ohio and several other places, you don't know what they're bringing. So it's important to know what's going on there. One thing you should ask for is, why don't you have cameras? We have 15 webcams. You can always log on and see your dog playing here, always. You can call here 5 times a day and say, Stacy, how's my dog on his first day? You want someone that's gonna call you back. You want someone that answers the phone. You want to know what they're using to clean with. Are you taking your dog to a daycare that doesn't have pools or the hose available and it's 95 degrees outside? You shouldn't be going there.
The square footage, I mean, obviously, if you have 100 dogs in this size room, that's no good. The dogs still need to spread around. You don't want it to be them all running into each other and stuff. Lucky Dog has been in business as of November 3rd, 3 years.
Most of our dogs come for a full day. We open at 6 a.m. and we're here till 7 p.m. If they're coming to play for the whole day, it costs $25 for the full day, which is 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Half day is considered up until 1, that's $13. To board here overnight, it's $35 a night, and that's for everything. There's no a la carte. So $35, your dog spends the night. We can provide medication, we have to cook for your dog. We have a full kitchen here. Anything that your dog needs, that's included in the $35. For daycare, we have people that come on a regular basis. You can purchase a package. It takes the price way down to almost $18 a day for a full day.
Not all dogs can participate here at Lucky Dog because we do a full day of daycare. There's only one day other daycare that does a full day of daycare, where other ones do like groups of dogs. Like they'll do 5 dogs for 2 hours. Cage them, do another 5 group of dogs. Where if a dog doesn't work out here, they may work out somewhere else where they can get one-on-one time, but here all the dogs have to get along with all the dogs. We separate them, the small dogs and the big dogs. But just because a dog doesn't work out here doesn't mean that a dog wouldn't work out in another, place that do separate play groups by temperament and stuff.
Dogs that are coming to Lucky Dog required to have a temperament test. It's a 5-minute meet and greet with another dog. And when they're together, away from the owner and off leash, because you can't judge your dog how he acts with you when he's here. Here, everything is neutral. So dogs that don't do well at home sometimes do wonderful here. Most of the time do wonderful here. We try not to board dogs that can't go in the daycare because that's not the kind of place we are. It's not the old-fashioned where your dog sits in his cage for 23 hours a day. We don't do that. Have we had some dogs that started in daycare and then don't work out? Sure. Do we board them? Of course we do. But we want to board dogs that are calm and they're not anxious. When they're anxious, they make everybody else anxious. So if you have one dog that is just going crazy because he has to be kenneled and he's amping up the 60 other dogs in the playroom, it's just not healthy for anybody.
For daycare, you just bring your dog in, that's it. We bring your dog back. For boarding, just bring your dog food, a blanket, a toy. But what you don't want to do, people will drop off. If it's Fido's first visit, the owner will drop them off and they'll be, oh, Fido, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna miss you. And then the dog's like, what the heck? And then we're bringing this dog back, and it's the first time the dog's been here, and the dog's thinking, where's mommy and daddy? It's kind of like if you had a kid, same concept. You're not gonna be like, bye, Charlie, and start crying. So don't make it a big deal when you drop your dog off for a vacation. Obviously, it's mine and Stacy's business. We're gonna take great care of your dog.
We take a lot of extra steps. Number one, we have experienced staff. We have licensed vet techs that work here. We have other staff that have a lot of dog experience.
We require fecal and bordetella every 6 months, where most places it's once a year, if they even do that. A lot can happen in those 6 months, so especially when dogs are playing with 80 to 100 other dogs. We also now have the dogs require the canine influenza shot, where I think we're probably the only place that I know of. There's probably a few other ones way outside of Michigan, but that we require it because we have dogs here from Florida, Georgia, everywhere. And so do these other daycares. So, and if you end up getting that at your daycare, you have to like shut down for what, like 2 weeks or something? If we had to shut down for 2 weeks, we'd be...
We have vaccine clinics, and we have a local vet that's our visiting vet. If you drop your dog off for daycare and they're due for their bordetella, he can come right over and give that vaccine. Obviously, we still recommend everybody getting their annual wellness visits with their regular vet, but we have a vet that's very close, and we work pretty closely with all the veterinarians in this area.
I don't believe in over-vaccinating your dog, but the shots that we are requiring your dogs to have, it's not over-vaccinating. It's just to protect your dog and also us and the rest of the dogs too.
I have a background of 30 years in the veterinary business. A lot of my clients still come here. If their dogs are older and need special attention, we have other veterinary technicians that can give injections like insulin. They can give medications several times a day.
Another thing that we offer, we have webcams that you can watch your dogs when they're playing here, where I think it should be a law. Every dog daycare should have webcams so you can see what your dogs are doing. The Facebook page is updated every single day with pictures of the dogs playing, and well, Stacy and I, the owners, are actually here. There's no other daycare where you're gonna go to where the owners are actually there.
We are looking at the dogs. We know when your dog has an ear infection. We know when they're limping. We know when their diet's off. Just recently we had a dog in that was having some eye problem, and it wasn't nothing to the owner, but we noticed it, and the dog is going in for treatment. So, I mean, we're experienced. We know what to look for, and we care about your dog. So, if dogs are coming to board, we recommend the owners bring anything they want to go in the dog's room. They play all day long. They're only in their room overnight. Most people like to bring their own food in case your dog gets an upset stomach. We do have food here at no charge. And then they want to bring toys or treats. We have beds that are provided in the bowls. We tell people, honestly, I've never seen a dog play with a toy here in his kennel. Why? They're in the lucky dog coma. They go in their room, they eat, we turn on our music called Through a Dog's Ear, which is classical music that's rearranged for dogs, and before the lights are even out, they're all out. No one's playing with a toy.
A lucky dog coma is after the dogs are playing here all day long, they go home and they just clonk out. They eat, maybe go to the bathroom, and then they're just out for the next maybe even day. Every time, if it's a dog's first day here, I always tell the people, Fido is gonna be very tired when Fido gets home, so don't think we drugged your dog or anything, because for doing this for 15 years, you learn things real fast. People will call up, what'd you do to my dog? My dog hasn't moved for 6 hours. It's like, because your dog's been playing for 12 hours. So, well, your dog's not running around for 12 hours. If you look on these webcams in a couple more hours, they're gonna be laying down, but they're not really like sleeping, they're just kind of resting.
Other services that we provide are grooming, do-it-yourself dog wash, nail trims, the vaccine clinics, and we try to provide a community event every month. Everything that we sell here, from dog raincoats to baked goods, we try knitted hats, everything that we sell, we try to get from local people, so within 10 miles. And most of them, honestly, are our clients. We have a lot of people come from different areas because we're conveniently located close to the airport, so they can come from Oakland County, drop their dog off on the way to the airport, and then pick them up on the way back. And then it's centrally located. We're right off 96, we're right off Ford Road. A lot of people work for Ford, a lot of people work at U of M, those kind of things. And we open early, we open at 6 a.m., which is earlier than anybody else. So it's definitely worth it for the drive. If you say, why do I come here from North Oakland County? I'll say, it's worth it because we treat your dog right.
I am most proud of at Lucky Dog that I haven't lost my sanity. No, just this, it's like 2.5 years we've been in business. Just last 4th of July, we had like 130 dogs boarding here. Where at my old business, in 10 years, I didn't even have that. Just the growth that we've had is just crazy. It's just growing so fast. I wish I got time off, but that's just the way owning a business is. But just the success that we've had in just a short amount of time is just unbelievable.
People trust us. That's what I'm proud of. People trust us. They want to come here because they know their dog is going to be well taken care of.
What a great place. If you ever need someone to watch your dog, make sure you check them out. Remember, it's worth the drive. And while your dog is taking a vacation from you, why not hop over to the Detroit Zoo? Let's check in and meet a species that has survived the Ice Age. You'll never guess.
I am standing here in front of our red panda habitat. You will see if you look up in the trees that we have 3 red pandas here. We have mom and dad and their youngster that was born last year. The 3 are Shifu, Tashi, and Tofu. We've had a few babies born here, and these guys are doing great as a family. Mom is about 11 years old, dad's about 7, and baby's just turned 1. Well, typically males and females tend to live separately, and the females and males come together for breeding season. And when the babies are born, 1 to perhaps 4 babies, typically 1 or 2. Babies stay with mom for a little while, and it's not very typical that in the wild that the male would stay. In this case, they are staying together as a family, and it's been working out really well. He's a very involved dad. He spends a lot of time with the little girl, and they play together and they hang out in the trees together. They're found in China and in areas of India, in the higher elevations and the really dense forest areas. They are not related to pandas. They're actually in the carnivore group, and then they're actually in their own family. They stand alone. They would be most closely related to another family that would have weasels. It's typical that they be up in the trees and resting during the day, and they might start to come down, mid to late afternoon, looking for things to eat. They're typically vegetarian in nature. They eat a ton of bamboo. That's their main food source. On occasion, a few insects. They like some fruits. In the wild, they might eat some eggs and some other things like that. So more in the afternoon hours, you'll find them active and foraging. Red pandas are arboreal for the most part. They spend a huge amount of time in the trees, and in order to climb up in those trees, they actually have retractable claws and very strong limbs. They can climb up in those trees, and you'll see them hanging up there in the day, and toward the afternoon hours they'll start to come down. But what is neat is they come down face first. Their claws are so strong that they, instead of coming down tail first, they come down face first. It's really neat to watch. The keeper that's been working with the red pandas, she's been with them for many, many years, so she's very familiar with them. I wouldn't say that she really interacts and works hands-on with them. That's not typically how we handle things here. How I would explain it is that it is her job to spend a great deal of time observing them and knowing their behaviors, knowing their temperament, and keeping an eye on how they're behaving, so she can very quickly notice if there's a change in behavior or a change in what they're eating or if there's any concern. They tend to be solitary. They tend to stay up in the trees, so that would be their best defense when getting away from predators. Actually, the main predators would be leopards and martens, and actually humans. They are endangered. Their numbers are decreasing due to habitat destruction, due to hunting and poaching, and they're even finding their way into the pet trade these days. The Detroit Zoo supports quite a few conservation programs. We actually have a director of conservation here at the zoo. We support many programs out in the field where we send staff to assist with the research that's going on. We supply funding to a variety of different conservation efforts around the country and around the world. And we also work together with zoos and make sure that we are working as a team and helping to responsibly try to breed the endangered species that we have here. The red pandas are back near the tiger habitat. So once you come in and you pass the fountain, you're going to turn right and you're going to come across the tigers and the red pandas. It's a big open air exhibit with a lot of trees. And I always suggest that people look up in the trees. We have signs telling people to look up, but definitely look up because the great majority of the time you are going to find them in the trees. I also suggest that people come by later in the afternoon if they want to see them more active and perhaps on the ground feeding. We are open daily now until 5 o'clock. Starting in July and August, on Wednesdays we'll be open till 8. And that's a wonderful time to come see some of the animals that are nocturnal or animals that are more active in the afternoons and evenings, like these guys, the red pandas. So I really recommend that people come out and enjoy our late Wednesdays. There's concerts and activities, and there's animals that are more active, and it's a different experience. It's a lot of fun.
Also, check out the Southfield Parks and Recs to get discounted tickets for the Detroit Zoo. Well, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in. If you have anything you want to see on our show or any questions, visit our Facebook page, Southfield Multimedia Services. And don't forget to come back for our next episode of AnimalZ, Read All About It. Until next time, have a good one.